mentioned this.
Yes, Mr. Musigidi.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Nku, perhaps we can wrap up the topic on the reasons why you had this 60,000 cash on you. And I still persist that you keep on giving contradictory reasons for various questions that are put to you. And I've noted now on the reasons through your engagement with the commissioners as to why you would have that amount with you. On your statements, at least, you had mentioned it was part of your travel costs and part of it could have been used for paying for Intel. Do you remember that?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, and then later on now you added a new one. You said, no, this was a petty cash. Do you remember that as well? You remember mentioning that the money could have been, it was a petty cash.
No, from that's not addition, Advocate Musikidi. It's where the money is coming from.
Yes, then if it comes from a petty cash, it's a petty cash.
Yes.
Yes. And then later on, again, when you engaged further, you said, no. That amount, actually, it's the entire amount that you received through your clients who were paying you in cash. You remember that as well?
It's one and the same thing as this, I believe. Yeah.
It's not completely different. When you receive petty cash, you account differently for it from taking money for travel costs. They are completely different amounts. But you remember now saying that actually it was the entire amount that was supposed to be put in a safe. And in fact, you said, well, you acknowledge that you should have or could have banked it or saved it.
Maybe I need to clarify or qualify it, Advocate Musikidi, that monies received through clients in a form of cash payment can be registered as petty cash.
Yes.
Because it's monies that are hard cash as opposed to funds which are transmitted through transfers.
Yes, I'm saying to you, you added to say later on it was the entire payment that you should have banked. So you said that, remember?
Please repeat yourself.
You said that amount was actually the entire amount that you have received as payment.
Yes.
And then I think last you were also asked, and you said, well, the reason why I had that money, I think you said you wanted to be discreet so that you don't use your bank card and you pay by cash, so that you keep. I think you always said no footprints when you do this kind of work, just to remain discreet. Remember you said that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, if we were to look at your bank account and find that you've actually not telling the truth because you've been swiping that card going to Durban, that means it's not true that amount was, you had that amount because you wanted to remain discreet. What would you say?
I'd be surprised. On the date in question?
On the days in question, yes.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
You'll be surprised?
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Please, no.
Okay.
Can you please repeat the answer? Don't whisper.
Okay,
because the transcription must capture what you are saying.
Okay, no, I'd be surprised. Granted.
Okay, no, let's get surprised. Then it's fine. Chair, let's go to. Is this CJC 330.1? It's 330.1. CJC 330.1. Yes. then we go to page, do you have the file, Mr. Nku? Yes, let's go to page 323. Are you there?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, you see on top left, please don't flag this. On top left, it's your name, Mr. Tumelongu. You confirm that, and your address? Can you confirm that?
Which?
On your top right,
Yes, sir.
you confirm that's a bank statement, what you're looking at, FNB bank statement.
Yes, sir.
Yes, and then if you go further down, it says FNB Fusion Private Wealth Account, and it gives an account number there, starting with a 6 and ending with a 1. Do you see that?
It would be page 24.
No, we are still on 323.
323.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you confirm that at least that seems to be your bank statement?
Yes, I do confirm.
Yes, and then you'll see that from the account number, when you go 1, 2, 3 lines down, the third and the fourth line, it says statement period 21st of June 2021 to 21 July 2021. You see that?
I see that.
Yes. Now, if you flip over at page 324, you will see the transactions there. On the left, you will see there's dates there. And I'm not pitching this any higher to say if this bank statement is correct. You will see that from the 7th, well, all the 7th of July, you will see that there's different toll gates there. Do you see those toll gates?
From the 7th?
Yes, where the card was used. And you go, if you go further down, you will see that, well, on the further right, that will be the amounts that were used on that account.
Don't you want to refer to amounts? On such and such a date, there's a debit for a toll gate in X amount, and toll gates have names. Maybe if the name of the... Oh yeah, I do see the Hook, for example, the Hook Toll Plaza.
Yes, let me get the ruler. The page.
I think you will deal with it better that way.
So, Mr. Nku, you'll see that there's the Hook Plaza, where there's a payment of 53 Rand. And the Hook Toll Plaza, it is in the region of KZN.
Is that on the 7th of July?
On the 7th of July, it says so, Chairperson. And there's a Moy Toll Plaza. I think it usually records as Moy River.
I doubt that the Hook is in... Did you say the Hook is in KZN?
Let's go down here.
The Hook is
It's
here,
going
close
down,
by.
yes. I think it's Moy Toll Plaza. That goes further down.
Yeah, that's in case.
Maybe you
Yes.
can explain.
And then there's Welge Toll. And then there's Tugela Toll Plaza on the same date, where there's an amount of 78 rands that was paid.
Advocate Msikidi.
And remember, Mr. Nku, I say if these statements are anything to go by, because we still have to verify them, but that's what we received from your bank. Yes.
Do you see the Hook on the 7th of July?
I am seeing, Chair. And,
Sorry.
I am seeing, Chair, I don't know whether the 7th is the reconciliation date, because the other, please look at on the far right.
Yes, I'm getting there. I'm coming there to say that Chair would notice that sometimes with the e-tolls, they don't reflect immediately as you pass by. Hence, I'm saying these need to be verified. But what you can see when you go down, and then to confirm that point, you will see that on the 8th, at the very least, I think this is the most accurate we can get. On the 8th of July, there is an entry on the 7th. Sorry, it's the 9th of July. On the 7th, there's an entry here of Mariam Hill main line that will be in.
That's in KZN, Pinetown area.
Pinetown area, and that at the very least we know that it reflects on the 7th of July, even if you look in the middle date to say that if on the left is the date that was later reflected, but the actual date of the reflection of the transaction, if Mr. Nku would suggest the one in the middle, at least that still puts him in the KZN region in any event. Mr. Nku,
yes.
do you follow?
Yeah, I do follow, Chair.
Yes, I understand these things can be confusing because you'll get the message 2-3 days later sometimes that you passed at a toll gate, and then you get surprised.
Yeah, okay.
Just before there was an issue that, you see, Mr. Nku keeps whispering. Mr. Nku, I thought there was an issue you wanted to address before you answer the question, which is that the two columns, one could be the date when a transaction reflects in a bank statement, and then another could be the date when the transaction actually happened.
When it was initiated.
When it was initiated. So that's why you have two columns.
The other one is the reconciliation date.
Please don't interrupt me, because I saw you wanted to deal with that before you answer the question. So I was just giving context so that you do that and then you respond to the question. Because otherwise you'll keep interrupting each other because he's asking a question and you want to clarify as he's speaking. So deal with that and then answer his question. It will make more sense that way.
Okay, thank you very much, Commissioner Balui. But I think he was already on the verge of clarifying. In fact, I think you had clarified, Advocate Musikidi.
I have. And really, Mr. Nku, the point I wanted to deal with, at least at this juncture, is the fact that your reason that you wanted to remain discreet does not hold water. And we will make submissions at least at the end to say that 60,000 had a particular purpose it had to serve. It was not merely there to be spent as you put it. Do you follow that?
Advocate Musikidi, I would like to direct you to the statement again.
Yes.
Maybe on the statement. There is nowhere where accommodation is shown to be paid for. I think on the statement.
No, I say accept that.
Sorry to both of you. I think perhaps the page that Mr. Nku should be referred to is 325.
325?
Yes, because there you actually see the hook 7 July, which would suggest that you were traveling south on the day, and then it reflects on your account on the, on the 14th of July.
Mm-hmm.
But you yourself used your card on the 7th, at the Wood Toll Plaza in Heidelberg?
In fact, what you see there, Mr. Nku, is you've got, with each toll plaza, you have travel on the 7th and on the 8th. So that's how they've been arranged. So you've got travel on the 7th and you've got travel on the 8th at the same toll plaza, which shows you were going the one direction and then the opposite direction on the next day. And the same with De Hoek and Mooi and Velge.
Do you see that?
Oh, I see that, Commissioners.
Mr. Musigiri, do you want to engage Mr. Nku on that basis then?
Yes, Mr. Nku, then you must accept, based on that your assertion that the reason why you had 50,000 cash on you was for you to avoid having to use your card so that you remain discreet. That does not hold. At least on this narrow point that your card does place you and dislodges your discreetness.
Advocate Musikiri, I don't see anywhere where I've paid for accommodation here.
You don't see what?
On the statement where I've paid for accommodation.
That was not my question.
Okay.
That was not my question about accommodation. You said the reason why, and you mentioned toll gates, if I remember very well in your testimony.
Amongst these, I said toll gates and accommodation.
Yes, so we're dealing with toll gates. That's
Toll
my
gates,
question. It might well be that you paid cash for accommodation. I'm not taking issue with that. And that's not the point I'm getting to. But you accept that?
I concede.
Yes.
I concede. Chair.
And really the point is this, Mr. Nku. You have made payments to Mr. Mashaba before, or Chief Mashaba before.
I made payments twice. Yeah.
You have made payments to Mr. Mashaba prior to the 9th of July, 2021. You concede that?
Indeed. I do concede.
You've paid him some money.
I haven't paid him. I would say I've lended money. I haven't paid him.
We'll deal with that. Let's find a neutral way. You've transferred funds.
I've transferred funds.
We'll come to the reasons as to why those at an opportune time. And really, that's the point I'm trying to make. That you have transferred funds to to Chief Mashaba previously, and on the 9th of July 2021, you had the means to make further payment to him. So paying him would not have been an issue, at the very least, as a proposition, because you had cash with you and you have exchanged monies before. At least you have directed money towards his direction before. You will have to accept that.
I don't accept that. Commissioners.
Which part are you having difficulties with?
So.
You had to, let me break it down.
So maybe put the proposition to him again.
Yes.
Let's try again. We are very agreed that you have transferred money to Mr. Mashaba, and we have also considered, it's common cause now that you did have that 60,000 on you on that day. And what I'm saying to you is that then you were in a position to make payment to him on that day, if there was a reason to do so. You had the means, and you have done it before anyway.
Commissioners, I would say that I had the means either way, whether I had cash with me at that point in time.
Yes.
So, regardless of whether I was present, I would have had means.
Yes, no, that's the concern. Remember, we have Mr. Nku, is that you have previously paid Mr. Mashaba for whatever reasons that we'll deal with in due course. But also we're trying to find the reason. Remember, we spent the whole hour now trying to find the real reason or reasons why you kept this money. And you've gave us a couple of reasons, and we're still we have not come to a conclusion as to why you had that money. But I'm putting to you that at that stage, because of what we've discussed and what we have tried at least to exclude, to say this money was kept there, but not for the things that you've mentioned. But also, what I'm putting to you now is that that same money there was a opportunity for you if there was a reason to do so, to pay him, or at least to make some transfer to him.
I wouldn't see the reason why to do that.
Because you have done it before. Hence, I'm saying we'll get to the reasons, and he told us why, and that's why I'm saying on the scene on that day, you being found with that kind of amount, and having dealt with, or at least having in this commission being at least informed of your previous dealings with Mr. Mashaba. The idea that, for now at least, that money could have been used for those who assisted you, including Mr. Mashaba, it's not far-fetched. But you can deny it if you want, but those are the facts.
For me, it would be far-fetched, commissioners, because I don't see the reason why to pay him for doing his job.
Now, we're still on page 5. Go to page 5 of your statement. The original statement, the first one.
So, have you already asked your question, or are you still directing? Oh, let's wait for it.
Page 5. In that paragraph where it mentions, so that the very top paragraph on top, remember we are trying to, yes, do you see it there? Where it mentions that 60,000?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, but what I want to deal with is a different aspect, which is the point I was trying to wrap up with you regarding you being at least creating an impression that you're an informant. And I want to draw your attention to your conversation with...
Sorry, Mr. May I ask questions that are related to your last questions? Please. You said, Mr. Nku, this is page 4 of your statement, not the supplementary.
The main statement.
Yes. You say the 60,000 rand was for, you say it was for part of your traveling expenses. You remember that?
Yes.
In your statement?
Yes, Chair.
Yes. Now, with that much money, would there have been any reason for you not to use the cash? And if so, what would that reason have been? You have, in fact, we know it was not even 60,000, it was 64 or 65,000. With that much cash, would there have been any reason not to use that money, but instead to use your cards?
There probably would have, the possibility would have been using I just don't recall using the card, but I would guess what comes to mind is that generally cards are quicker, even when you pass a toll gate. You just tap and you go, as opposed to cash.
But you see the difficulty with that answer. You're quite right. You're quite correct.
Yes.
It's very quick, or if you don't have a tag, then you use your card, quicker. It's much quicker. You are quite correct. But your difficulty or your problem is that you said, as Mr. Musigiri engaged you just now, and in fact, even in response to questions by me, you said you are going to use the cash for toll gates. That's your difficulty. But that's not my question. My question is, would there have been a reason for you not to use that cash, but instead to use your card for whatever travel-related expense? Would there have been any
at that point in time?
On that, I'm talking about the day when you were, the days the 7th and the 8th, when you had 64,000 or 65,000 rand on you, would there have been a reason for not to use that cash? If there would have been, what would that reason have been?
The only thing that comes to mind, as I say, Chair, it would have been convenience.
So no other reason. You
it's
have this cash, you have specifically taken it from your office for using it for travel-related expenses, but you then end up not using it. Is that what you are suggesting? So all of a sudden now you see the convenience that I was talking about when I engaged you much, much earlier, the convenience of using your card. Now you are falling back to that when you just rejected that and said you wanted to use the cash. How can that suddenly be a fallback position? Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Chair, traveling expenses include, hence I said, what is more costly would be then accommodation. However, on the tolls, I maybe need to peruse to check whether I used the card on all the tolls. Because generally, I would have had to use the cash.
We've seen quite a few here. We've seen the Hook, we've seen Moy Plaza, we've seen Marian Hill, we've seen Tugela. That's very close to being all of them. That's very close to being all
3
of them.
and 4.
It gives a lie to what you said. I will not engage you further on that. Mr. Mosigidi has done so. But what I want to, so effectively, you are not, except for the convenience of using your card, you are not able to tell me what convenience, or rather, what reason you would have had not to use the cash that you had specifically taken from Johannesburg to use on this trip. So you have no other reason except for the convenience of your card. Or rather, the convenience of using your card. No other reason. Yes.
If I may, the convenience of using the card on tolls, but as I said, I believe cash was used for accommodation.
So you are taking the tolls that you had included, you are now suddenly taking them out?
No, I'm not, Chair.
You are. Sorry, you are. You just did now.
If I may, so I need to peruse to check whether all tolls back 3 and 4 were used. I used my card on all tolls.
It doesn't matter if there might be the odd one where you didn't. I mean, if you look at 3 to 5, there's a good few there. If you want to have a quick look, you may do so. But why I ask for a reason as to why you would not have used the cash. Look at page 324, the third last item on that page. Do you see that item? Third last at 324.